whoever needs to see, hello. It's been so long since I've done a YouTube video, but here I am, okay? I know I've been gone for some time, so let me go ahead and explain myself. I know everybody's like, you know, where have you been? What are you doing? Like, where'd your stories go? Man, when I tell y'all, that came to a quick end. So let me go ahead and, actually, let me just show y'all what happened, right? Okay, period. I know y'all thinking, oh, congratulations. And those of you that think otherwise, I don't give a fuck. So anyway, I appreciate everybody who has been, you know, congratulating me on, what's it called? Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, texting me, whatever. It's really appreciated. Me and my boyfriend really do appreciate it. But I'm just going to talk about pretty much what happened in my pregnancy. Because a lot of people have been asking me, can you do a video or can you talk about your pregnancy? A lot of girls are getting pregnant. And I see them like looking up stuff. I was one of those people. I was looking up information. So basically I'm just going to talk about, you know, all the information that I've received since, you know, I found out I was pregnant and like kind of like what's been going on. So hopefully, you know, this video reaches out to one of the girls that have been asking me questions or a girl who's Googling trying to find answers on their pregnancy. Hopefully I have some answers for you. Okay. To kind of like start the timeline, I found out I was pregnant in May. Boom, cool. But I started like bleeding and I got kind of like sick. So I was told I was miscarrying and then turned around and found out that it was a whole medical problem that I was having. But everything is all taken care of. Everything's okay. Baby K is okay. All right. But basically, my whole first trimester, I was pretty much miserable. I was always sick because I had something called hyperemesis. Those that don't know, hyperemesis is actually a little bit more common in pregnancies than what a lot of people realize. Hyperemesis is when you're consistently sick. You can't keep food down. You can't keep drink down. You know, you can't really do too much because you're just constantly throwing up. And that was literally me. Like, I quit my job. I literally just could not. Just could not. And it finally went away when I got to my second trimester. Second trimester is known to be the easier trimester. And I really haven't, you know, been nauseous or anything like that. The only time I will say for a fact, no matter what, I will always throw up is when I brush my teeth. I kid you not. I don't know why. Even the pregnant girls that I've spoken to, they've all said the same thing. When they brush their tongue, it's over with. Over with. Sick. Throw up. Don't eat before you brush your teeth in the morning because I kid you not, whatever you just ate is going to come up. Kid you not. And I had to learn that. But my pregnancy, pretty much, let's see. To start from the beginning, how I found out I was pregnant, I knew, you know, when people say, oh, you know, you just know when you're pregnant. I literally really just knew I was pregnant because I was just driving. It was probably like an hour trip. And I was listening to music. I was by myself. It was like 9:30 at night. I had just got off work on the coast. And I was driving to Hattiesburg. And out of nowhere, I just started thinking like, wow, if I have a daughter, I want to name her Shy, which I totally did not go with. But I was like, why am I thinking about girl names? And I was like, you know, I really think I'm pregnant. And then I took test after test after test, and they all came back negative, right? And I knew I was pregnant, okay? My period had not came, but I'm just so in touch with my body. I can tell when there's like some kind of difference, you know, like if you feel a little bit weird, you know, for a female, you know what your discharge is like. So if your discharge is different, I got really, really sore for a fact, like really sore. My chest was like really sore, and I just had a whole bunch of changes going on, and I just knew I was pregnant. And every test I was taking kept coming back negative. Negative, negative, negative. I took 6 tests and all 6 tests came back negative. So finally, I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll wait till my period and I'll wait till after I miss my period to take another test. Cool. So I missed my period by like 11 days. And I'm like, finally, I can take another test. Took the test and of course it came back positive. I was happy. I've always wanted to be a mom. I actually prayed to be a mother by 21 because I didn't really come from like a really, you know, family oriented home. I didn't grow up with mommy and daddy, and you know, it was just different. So I've always wanted to be a mom. So I was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. Yes. Told my best friend because of course she's the godmother. We've been best friends for years, almost a decade. Fantastic news. I was really, really happy. But then I was 6.5 weeks when I started getting hyperemesis. I kid you not, I always had to have a plastic bag on me when I was at work. I was throwing up, could not eat crackers. I had to run to the bathroom like every 30 minutes to an hour. And it was like I'm throwing up nothing, literally nothing, because there's nothing in my system. So that happened all the way until I was about 13 weeks. I went for my ultrasound at 6 weeks. And then I didn't get my next ultrasound until I want to say about 14, 15 weeks. I want to say it was 15 weeks. But after that, it got a little easier. You know, I started back working. Everything was a lot smoother for me. And then I went for my ultrasound. Everything was looking good. After they told me that I was not miscarrying, because when I went to the emergency room, I left from work to go to the emergency room because I was bleeding at work, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, what the fuck? So I go to the emergency room, and they're like, you're having a miscarriage. It's gonna take about a week. Just gonna get out your system. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's just not meant to be, whatever, cool. So then I found out when I kept getting sicker and sicker that I was still pregnant when I went to the emergency room for like the 3rd or 4th time. They put the little Doppler on my stomach and they heard a heartbeat, and I was like, what the fuck? I was told, you know, I was miscarrying, like, so am I not miscarrying? What's going on? So they told me, no, you're not miscarrying, you're actually 15 weeks, and it's a girl. And yes, she is still there. It was not a miscarriage, it was something else that the emergency room didn't even find. Had to go to a specialist. But after I went to the specialist, I kid you not, everything has been smooth sailing. Like, it's been pretty much the easiest pregnancy. Let's see. Baby grows really fast. No, I started feeling movement in my stomach probably when I was about 18 weeks. I could start feeling, or 17 weeks really, I could start feeling like, it's kind of like a nauseous feeling, but you're not nauseous. It's like a lower part of your stomach, of your stomach area. It's a lower part, and what it's called is flutters. Basically, it's like, you know, your baby's little movements, because they're still too small for you to actually, you know, visibly see them kick or feel them kick. So that was going on for a while. Everything was good after that. I've, you know, really had the easiest pregnancy because my boyfriend has just made everything so easy on me. He's very supportive. You know, he does everything that I ask of him. I love you so much. But it's just been a lot easier than what I thought it would be because of the hyperemesis. The baby grows pretty fast. I will say that, because I have pains. I get like little pains around my stomach and whatnot. And I found out that's because that's when your uterus is growing. And you can actually feel your uterus if it's high enough, because it won't really rise out of your pelvic bone area until you're out of your first trimester. So when I was at my first trimester and I went to my 18-week checkup, no, it was my 17-week checkup, she put her thumb in my belly button and she pushed down, and she was like, that's exactly where your uterus is. You can feel the top of your uterus. So as your uterus, grows, that's when my belly button is starting to become an outie, because I used to be an innie. But I'm starting to recognize her typical sleep patterns. I recognize when she likes, to get up. I recognize when she's really energetic, and I know what foods make her very energetic. So you really don't figure that out until like the middle of your second trimester. But I did a lot of reading and talking to other pregnant women. And they all have the same thing. It is also very, very important to take prenatals, except for me, because I found out while I was at work. I had just took some prenatals for the first time, like last week, I want to say. Come to find out, I am highly allergic, and I have to take Flintstone vitamins instead. But either way it goes, it is very important to take the correct vitamin supplement so your baby is healthy. Their brain forms correctly, their bone mass forms correctly. Everything you just want to be, as easy and smooth. You want your baby to look right, act right. So treat your baby right when you are pregnant. Let's see. I am 5 months. I'm going on 5.5, almost 6 months. And I'm just we're not prepared for her to be here, but it's kind of like, okay, like, can you come? I'm not rushing anything. As long as she comes out healthy, I will be very, very satisfied. Her father will be very, very satisfied. It's no issues. But I just kind of like, I want to be mom. Come here, like, come on. But I love kids. Like, I moved to Hattiesburg from the coast because my cousin asked me to come up here and help her raise her kids. So I came up here, and she had just had a baby in the last week of December, and I moved up here in May. But I have been visiting off and on since January because I moved out of state in January. So I love kids. I've kind of like been learning what to do, how to prepare, what to not do, what to do, what to feed, what not to feed, when to change diapers. I've learned all that stuff. And I will say, you're not going to have, as a first-time mom, everything down pat. It takes maybe to your second pregnancy, or, actually being around kids to actually know, or babies to actually know what to do, what not to do. But everybody raises their kids differently at the end of the day. So I can't really complain. It's really how you decide to live your life. But that's just kind of been like my pregnancy story so far. So next week I'm going for my 20-week checkup, and I'm supposed to be doing my 3D ultrasound, and I get the results back because I decided to do the blood test to make sure my baby doesn't have, any abnormalities, any, disorders or anything wrong with her when she's born. So I'm going to get those results back on Wednesday and get those new pictures on Wednesday, and everything should be a-okay. But I've been preparing. My dad, he just had a baby girl, so I'm going to actually get a lot of her clothes because it's a 6-month difference between my baby and his, which is really, really odd because aunt and niece are about to be the same age and in the same class, so I guess they're going to be best friends and at the same time family. But that's that's something different. But I get a lot of clothes from them. But me and my boyfriend, we did go shopping for Kalani. That's going to be her name, Kalani Gabrielle. We went shopping for Kalani and got like a lot of little onesies and little robes and, you know, jumpers and stuff like that. So we're trying to find a take-home dress for her. But my boyfriend, he is very, very excited because he's a photographer and he just wants to do so many photo shoots with her, and I am so excited. I'm so excited to do my maternity photo shoot because he is just such a good photographer, like such a good photographer, and what he thinks and like the images that he puts out in his mind, like, oh my God. So I'm really, really excited for him to do that, and that should be coming in the next, you know, couple of months. But I've been planning to do my baby shower, and a lot of people have been asking me what I'm going to do for my baby shower, where I'm going to have it, because as we know, I moved from Atlanta back home. Really, I'm from New Orleans, but I live in Mississippi because I was kind of raised between both. Half my family is in Mississippi on my dad's side, and the other half is in like Atlanta. And then my mom's side of the family is in New Orleans. So I've decided to do one big baby shower in Hattiesburg area, kind of, and then I'm going to go to Atlanta in November, and I'm going to do one big baby shower for all my friends and immediate family up there, because all my brothers are up there, my dad, you know, everybody else is up there. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 baby showers so everybody is satisfied. All of my RSVPs are going to go out, my invitations are going to go out, and I'm super, super excited. But I will say, it took me a minute to actually feel a connection to my baby. And I wondered for a really long time, like, if this was normal, because I just didn't really feel pregnant. Like, yeah, I would get like a little bump. I was told I was not going to gain too much weight or get too much big of a bump until towards the end of my pregnancy, just because I've worked out so much and I lost so much weight, and I was an athlete, so my abdomen is constricted. So if you feel like my stomach is still hard. But it wasn't until probably last week when I started feeling a connection, and that's when we went baby shopping and whatnot. And I thought, you know, it was abnormal, and it was like, I was scared, pretty much. I was scared that I wouldn't have a connection or feel a connection for her when she was born, or I was scared, you know, what if she knows that I don't like really feel nothing. But honestly, that all changed. It really did change, and now I can actually like feel her. Like, I kid you not, she'll wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning, every single morning, just moving. And I don't know, I'm starting to feel that connection and that bond. And there's certain songs that I play all the time, and Blue Dream by Janae is just her favorite song, because I sing it all the time, because it just reminds me of my boyfriend so much. And every single time I play that song, she'll like squirm around to it. Kid you not. So I don't know, it's little things like that where I'm starting to actually feel a connection for her. And I don't know, I feel better about it, because I felt like, you know, maybe that means I'm not going to be a good mother. But everybody who knows me knows, like, I love children. I've always been around children. I've babysat, I worked at daycares, I've just done everything. Like, I love kids, I really do. So I never really thought I would be a bad mom. My patience level is very, very, very high. And me and my boyfriend are both excited to have another baby around the house. So yeah, that's just a little bit about my pregnancy. And I guess I'll do like another update video in the next couple of weeks, and I'll see, you know, how far I am, and I'll show y'all like my growing baby bump, and, you know, we can talk about things. And if any of y'all have questions or want to talk about anything or want to make comments, you know, just feel free to DM me, comment, you know, whatever you need to do. Thank you so much. And subscribe, of course, because I'm going to be talking about and releasing a lot